Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this lovely planet of ours. Welcome. My name is Nanci Arvizu, and I'm hosting this morning of this official book launch of A Safe and Brave Space. This is the first anthology, a collection of art and poetry put together by the team, the collective in the Garden of Neuro. This was an idea prompted by a beautiful book by Pratibha Savani with her art in it. And the conversation grew and we decided this would be a neat first project for us to do. Put it together in 30 days. Lisa and Pratibha hosted some of the most amazing poetry and art workshops for us to get in the theme of it all. And it was a wonderful experience. So we're here today to share our poetry that we contributed to this book, as well as the story behind the poetry and art, and what the experience was like for each of us in the garden. So I'd like to thank you all for being here. And if we could possibly do some quick introductions, perhaps go around, maybe take 1 minute or two to introduce. And I will start off with Lisa Tomey, who is kind of the co-conspirator here of this great event that we've put together from A to Z here. So Lisa, would you introduce yourself?
Sure, Lisa Tomey. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I guess they call me the senior editor because I'm probably the most senior person age-wise of the group. And we had a lot of fun doing this book, and we'll talk more about that later. So I'll just go on, and next person I see is Safraz. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Probably the only man here. But it's fantastic to be here because I've heard so much of the project. I'm friends with Lisa. I know Pratibha very, very well as well. So just happy to be here, listen to some great poetry. And I'm a poet myself. I've got a couple of books out there and really enjoy listening to poetry as well. So welcome to everyone.
Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa Bolin, and sitting here in the Åland Islands in Finland watching the sun go down, and it's only 4:10 on my neck of the woods. Yeah, this has been a really fantastic experience being part of this. Not the first time I've been published, but first time my art's being published, so that's pretty cool. Thanks.
Okay, how about Jill? Would you like to introduce yourself? Take a moment and introduce yourself.
Sure, I would love to.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. And as Nanci said, good afternoon, wherever everyone is. It's my pleasure to be here today. I'm a poet and I have a brand new book, and it's called You Are the Poem. And I'm excited to be reading a piece today that's actually from that book. And I'm very excited to be a part of this imaginative and innovative, exactly what we would expect from a garden event. Thank you.
Sam?
Hello, everybody. I am the Z in the A to Z. I'm Zan John, signing in from Westminster, Colorado. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a poet as well, and I have a few poems in this beautiful, beautiful book. Can't wait to share.
Ben? Is it Upin?
Okay, yeah, I had to unmute myself. Hi, everybody. Well, I got this invitation from Susan last night, so I'm here. I'm actually in Thailand at the moment, and I'm a budding writer trying to become a better writer. And yeah, looking forward to this event. So thanks for the invitation and allowing me to be here.
Did you say my name? I can't tell.
I said I knew.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I have connection issues today, so I might be, sounding a little dumb because I'm not able to hear. Hi, my name is Anu, as is obviously evident by now. And I'm so excited to be part of this event. Actually, it was very exciting to be part of the whole journey as well. I really enjoyed the workshops conducted by Lisa when we were actually writing the poetry for this anthology. And I think while I was trying to, go in and out on the call, Susan was saying that I'm responsible for the books not reaching India. I felt like I'm the only one with that problem. Yeah, I have not got a copy of the book. I'm still very sad about that, but so looking forward to this launch event. And I hope the book is wildly successful.
Sandhya?
Hi. Yeah, hi, I'm Sandhya. I'm in Bangalore, India. It's about 7:40 p.m. At night now. It is just wonderful to join the garden. Anu invited me, Anu who just spoke. And I think pretty much as soon as I joined this whole 30-day journey, and it was wonderful to get published along with actually my sister and my best friends and, a whole bunch of others. So it's a very warm feeling. Looking forward to the launch. Thank you.
Richa? Richa?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Richa, and this part of the world, I'm in Singapore, so it's almost a 10:15, late in the evening, Saturday night, and I am so happy to be here. This was serendipity. I discovered Garden of Neuro quite by chance. Me and another illustrious poet, Pratibha Savani, we have been part of some poet groups on Facebook, and she happened to post it there. And I was a little intrigued. I wanted to find out what it was about. And once I was there in the community, I discovered this 30 days anthology, and it really gripped my imagination. So I'm so glad I couldn't attend any workshops. I couldn't ever get to meet any of you wonderful women, but I feel inspired every time I log into Garden of Neuro, and I made some contribution. The one thing that for me makes this anthology very special is that my daughter also contributed to it. She contributed in the form of her art, and I asked her to come here and speak, but I think she's a new teenager and she feels very shy about it. But it makes me extremely proud. This anthology has a very special place in our lives for this precise reason. And the fact that I discovered this amazing group of women making so much difference to women writers. I feel very inspired when you all post prompts and works, and most of the times I'm not able to make time to actually work through them, but whatever I read in the Garden of Neuro has enriched me tremendously. So for that I'm very thankful, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm very excited. I will receive my copy of books, I think, next week. Thrilled to bits. Yeah, and thank you so much, ladies, all of you, and the gentlemen, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Catalina?
Hi, everybody. I'm Catalina. I am part of the members here who created and have been sustaining the garden. So it's a pleasure to share with everybody from around the world. This anthology means also a lot for me. It just shows how much our collaborations in the garden have brought this blossom, this beautiful thing for all of us. So from my heart, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Priya. I'm also from Bangalore. And Anu, who invited Sandhya, invited me. And and my son Ryan. Okay.
Hi.
And yeah, I have loved being a part of this anthology. It was just so warm, so welcoming. It really felt like a sunny garden full of flowers blooming, such a happy place. So I'm looking forward to a lot more of writing. I hope that happens. Thank you again, Lisa, Susan, and everyone else too. Thanks.
Bye.
Seeing our younger generation involved. That's wonderful. Susan?
Oh my goodness, there's so much joy here. And first of all, I want to say thank you for all the contributors, to all of you lovely, lovely women from around the world. It's just been joyful to watch this flower open. And I want to say thank you to the gentlemen who are in the room right now, standing in support of our women's collective, because having support is important to all of us. And being able to be in a space where we feel safe enough, to be brave enough, to give our voice freely, to share our stories, and to create our world. It means everything to me, and I'm sure it does to you too, to have this wonderful place where we want to live, and where we want our children to be able to live and grow into. So this anthology is a work that we can all be proud of, because we did it together. And when the world is telling us that there's so much divisiveness and we can't do it, we say, yes, we can. And we've done it, and we've proven it. And so here we go. And this is the first of many, many projects that we will do. I'm just so thrilled looking at this group, and you know, we are small, but we are mighty. So thank you all so much for being a part of this. And I look forward to working on many, many, many more projects with you all. Thank you.
Okay, Nanci, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. That was wonderful. I'm Nanci Arvizu. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's very early, and this has been just the best project ever to work on. And this is what the garden is about: getting to do what you love. And the purpose of it eventually is to hopefully we can earn our income from doing what we love, right? So if we can all just turn out books like this over and over again. But I'd also like to point out that Catalina is the artist of our cover art for our front and back. Beautifully done art. So thank you, Catalina, for that. So I'd also like to let everyone know that the book is available at the Garden of Neuro Bookshop. Books, art, and gifts from the garden. And we're not putting it on Amazon because we prefer to pay the contributors and not the distributor. So let's see. So first, how would we like to share? Would anyone like to put their hand up first to share? Or I have some recordings of other authors. Jill, I see Jill putting up her hand. I'm gonna go back to gallery real quick. So if you just put in the chat your name, and I'll call on you as we go, but Jill, why don't we open it up to you and read your title and then read your poem.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because I do have another event and I wanted to be able to stay for as long as possible. I actually have two poems. One the title has been changed. It's on page 24 of the book, and it's about navigating grief. And it was called Emerging, and it's been retitled called Healing Magic. And it's a metaphor. The emerging or healing magic. This barrel of grief, once hollow, black, without floor or perch, frightens me a little less with each rung of the climbing out. I am a traveler gazing upon vistas of tranquility. A gift of lanterns light my way. Opalescent pearls and magic beads illuminate the pale dawn. When I stumble on unfamiliar roads, my dress is rimmed with mystic dust. So I walk a little slower. No need to hurry this journey. Sweet temptation beckons beneath the invitation of this stranger's welcome smile. I bend like a willow to show a fellow traveler the grace of my limbs and the recognition in my eyes. This has the makings of healing magic. I wish you all that. Thank you. Would you like me to share the second poem or only after everyone else reads?
If we could, the second one is from your other book. If we could hold that off for a moment and give some other women. I know Lisa is in another time zone, and I'd like to give also our ladies in other very late time zones to read as well. But I do want to hear it, Jill. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank
and
you
yes,
so much.
That was, and you said that you have a new title for it. This is emerging in the book. What did you retitled it?
Healing Magic.
Healing Magic. Nice. I like that. Thank you so much. Okay, Lisa Bolin. I know it's late where you are.
Oh, it's not that late. It's just I have another 3-hour Zoom session starting in a couple of hours, so I kind of need to pace myself. The poem that I'll read today is on page 42. It's called She Is Me, and much of the poetry that I write draws on the fact that I come from Australia, but I live in Finland. It draws on nature, and it draws on the choices, I guess, that I've made, and that idea of also being safe in your own body. So she is me. She wrapped sea and forest around her shoulders, a cloak of moss, seagrass, salt, pine needles, stone and birch, soothing her skin, nourishing her heart, filling her lungs with hope-tinged sweetness. She embraced an archipelago, shimmering islands in a glistening sea. She took them into her being, cherishing each twig, pebble, seed, rolling new words on her tongue, singing new songs, making new meaning. The leap she took, a free fall, landed her in a space, a place with grace, courage. She pulled the cloak tight, safe in the knowledge this was her place. Thank you.
Okay, and who would like to go next? Do I have any hands up? Let's see. Sorry, hold on. Who would like to go next? I'm sorry, I haven't my. Richa, yes, please.
So yeah, the very idea that we are thinking on lines, the very fact that women are talking about a safe and brave space for themselves means that we are ascribing some kind of agency over ourselves, over our lives, and that is a very empowering idea on its own. It's a very noble thought. When you come to think of it. So it's a step in the right direction, and it didn't take me a very long time to write for this anthology because it's very inspiring on its own. The idea is so it's so well driven, and especially in today's times when we should be speaking for ourselves. So I actually made 3 submissions. I think all 3 made through, and my I'm just going to be reading one of them, which is a nice. It's a nice picture of how our days should be, irrespective of our sex. So it goes like this. The title is Summer Days. Flying scarves have dished the necks, harder to find shade along the pool decks. Thighs of tan and honest sunburn, hazy refractive desires to turn. Bosoms of afternoons round and voluptuous, pale pink smallness of the summer morns, the wistful delicacy of wasted heat, skirting along the sunlight dead beat. Follow in footsteps of the dry hot run, the burnt crisp leaves offered to the sun, thirsty hiccups that follow every part, eating and finishing, long days to start. Colored vulgarity of lilies and petulant petunias, sun-kissed sunflowers and pansies and plumerias, bent boughs, a pit stop for the brain-parched fickles, sparrows and lost cats, chipmunks and squirrels. Day weary, the scorch it drags its feet, spent, waterless, empty, cooked sous vide. The days then sleep with an orange tan, hurting still and sighing warm. Night breeze to foment with a fluffy balm. Summer days are such an unloving muse, a passing hermit, a heartless recluse. That is it. Thanks.
Lovely. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And I love your, thank you for calling the garden what you feel about it. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we also have Priya. Are you ready? And back to Priya, when you're ready, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. This poem is inspired by my son, Ryan, and his class, actually, his school, the way during the pandemic, everything has turned online, and the teachers have had to sort of rethink and redo all their work and the way they teach. So this poem goes out to the kids and to their teachers. I hope you all like it. I haven't named it, so yeah. Online school has started. Little fingers tap over the keyboard. High-pitched good mornings pipe in. Reedy voices sing the school prayer. Some confident, some fumbling. The day unfolds into a colorful imaginary world, filled with animals and snow-clad mountains, multiplication sounds and patriotic songs, moralistic stories and scientific paper boats. The ideas trip over, stumbling. Messy paintbrushes and online codes, quizzes, games, mind maps, dictation, sigh, some messaging, gaming on the sly, jumbling, tumbling. The pretty girl sings a song, fervently cheered on by her fans. The grinning boy plays his latest piano tune. Bro, that's just awesome. The gruff-voiced kid shows his painting, brushstrokes beyond his ears, clapping hands, oohs, ahs, no question of grumbling. Dreams of unfinished submissions, of incomplete activities, of non-existent projects, And the only reward is the smile that breaks out from the quietest, the answer which tumbles out of the unsurest, the patient pause given by the loudest, and the question answered, asked by the shyest. Dedicated to all the teachers who make school safe and brave, truly humbling. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I love the little smile next to you. That's hilarious. I love it. Thank you so much for letting me stay up late. Okay. Who would like to go next? Do we have a hand up? Anyone? Zan, yes.
Okay, I have to find my way real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna share, if I can find it, goodness, a poem that's called Covered by Prayer. Priya's poem talked about the school, her son's school, and this one that I wrote reflects on the strength that I gained from my ancestors. When we were doing the workshops in the garden, my feeling of being brave, this is why I feel brave. It's called Covered by Prayer. When darkness looms, I retreat within my soul. I am brave because I know what covers me. I'm covered by the prayers of my ancestors, prayers from Africa's Republic of Cameroon, prayers from the bottom of the ships, vessels that drowned dreams and freedom in the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. I'm covered by their incessant prayers for survival and their woeful prayers for home. I am covered by the prayers of strong, tortured men, the men who landed in darkness, tormented, prayers that cleanse their soiled, battered bodies, prayers that replenished their broken spirits, prayers that relinquished their royalty, prayers that preserved their regal essence, prayers that calmed unspeakable anguish, prayers that caused them to love despite peril. I follow the light of my resilient people who prayed for me through centuries of hell. I'm covered by the prayers that brought us through, prayers that buoyed us to rise above, prayers that protect me when the outside looms dark. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Zan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who else? Who would like to go next? Do I see a hand up? Can I pick on someone? Catalina, would you like to read next? Or Sandhya, did I see your hand up? Did I see your hand go up? Anu, I see Anu's hand go up. So yeah, okay, Catalina, okay. Sandhya and Catalina, you get ready. Go ahead, Anu, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just gathering courage because after Zan's powerful rendition, it's like, it's a little difficult to match up to that kind of, I don't know, voice and the power of the poem itself. Anyway, here goes. My poem is called Gritsi. It's not, fortunately, touch wood, based on any experience, but it's based on everybody's experiences. We read a lot about the kind of things that women go through, not just in villages, not just in cities, everywhere, right? Every turn, every bus ride, everything has so many difficulties, in the, forced on to women. And a lot of times they don't even get to talk about it. Nobody knows, no one knows what's going on. And so many times, even close family members just tell them, it's okay, just adjust, move on. That's the kind of stuff that women especially, have to live with. And these are things they read about and learn about on a daily basis. So my poem kind of came from that. I hope no one ever has to face things like this, but it is there. My poem is called Gritzy. They hated their uncle, that sweet man who showered them with love, too much love, touchy-feely love. Mom shushed their rants. He's your uncle, she whispered. Alka began to fight him, clawed at him, screamed, kicked. He laughed. Daya kept calm, way too calm, wooden. Alka was confused. Does Daya enjoy it? At the farm, the two teenage girls draw water at the well. A dark shadow, the uncle. Alka withdraws. He follows. Daya watches, hawk-eyed, biding time. A swift leg shoots out, trips. Uncle in the well, screaming, gurgling. Silence. The end of a love they would not miss. That's it. Thank you.
Incredibly powerful, Anu. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Sandhya, are you ready?
Hi. Yes. So I think when Lisa did the poetry workshop, which is wonderful, I think it's the first poetry workshop that I've actually attended. My poems tend to be intensely personal. So, but sitting in the workshop, I couldn't get into that, very personal space. And I was trying to think about something. And at that time, I think in Afghanistan, the Taliban had taken over. The media was flooded with images and videos of people rushing to Kabul airport and trying to escape. And I think there was a picture of one woman, clutching a small child to her. So I think that image came to me, and I wrote about that. Again, not something I've experienced personally, but that's what came to my mind. The poem is titled Kabuli Wali. Kabuli Wali means a woman from Kabul in Hindi. There's actually a very famous book called Kabuli Wala. So I think I just, based it on that. She stares in frustration at the wall of men, white-robed, with guns blocking her path. With tears in her eyes, she clutches her baby to her chest, turns, and runs down the street, only to find the barrels of a tank pointed directly at her. The smell of gunpowder is still in the air, smoke causing a hazy scream. She ducks into a lane, picks up a black robe, and stumbles behind a bin, crouching, heart pounding, trying to find a way forward. She must escape. She must. She dashes across the sand to the barbed wire fence. No matter, she'll tear her way across to the airport, to the plane that will take her to a place of refuge. She can almost see the beacon. Can she reach it in time? Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya. Yes, that really paints a very 1-inch picture of someone's moment, doesn't it? Thank you for sharing that. Catalina, I believe you are up next. Are you ready?
Yes. Everybody hear me? Yes. Black coral. As I glance back, my body, now feathers-like, awakens from a chamber of coral. Astral beings sail through aquatic plants in a whimsical light, shaped by many names that blaze into one another infinitely. Fluorescents dress as dragons. Their glimmering skin precedes human history. They enter and leave the room with no one noticing. Their silhouettes appear to be still, moving through water like shadows. Walking back on the bridge, the black elliptical eyes find mine. This poem was inspired by a journey, a trip I did in Woodstock during the summer with one of my best friends, somebody Susan knows, and it was mystical. It was a revelation. So out of that journey came an essay, and out of that essay came this poem, and now it is in a book. So it is very precious. So thank you, everybody who's been part of this process.
Okay. Before I get to Susan and Lisa and myself with our own, I wanted to take a quick break and let everyone know. So Lisa has a new course opening up about how to publish our books. If you're interested in learning how to actually do all the background work of it, the technical side of it. So she has that opening up soon. So I hope you join her for those workshops. And we're talking about all sorts of kinds of things in the garden. Let's see. We have a couple other courses launching in January, our time and energy awareness course that Susan, Catalina, and I all worked very hard on. Sandhya has her blogging for success course opening very soon. You can check that out. We also have our book club, our One Mind book club. We're reading Sapiens. So if anyone's interested in joining us with that. Yay, I'm super excited about that. So Lisa Tomey and Susan Brearley, who wants to go next? Lisa, you're gonna jump in there? You go ahead.
Shout out about the course that we're putting together. Nanci and I are working on putting that together really soon. This is a poem. It's called When I Dream. When I dream, I go places where my body can't go, an escape of sorts. You see, I have just enough body left to get me to a long age. There is just a short circuit to my bones, and oh, the muscles, they get grumpy too. But my mind, it can go places, and when I dream, I get to travel the best places ever. Did you know I have traveled the world in my dreams? I felt no discomfort. I may have flung about willy-nilly to the whims of wonder. In my dreams, I have pillows for my feet. I walk on water. I fly. I feel nothing, and yet everything that comes from the freedom. Yet I am not ready to leave this life to pursue those dreams, but to let bravery take a stab at the more for me in this planet Earth. As long as she will have me, and when she won't, I will go out into the sea and commence my dreams. My safe space is my dreams, and my brave space is my life. I wouldn't have it any other way. When I dream, I'm free. Life gives me chances to sleep. Living gives choices.
Beautiful, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, Susan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready. I just wanted to say I'm a little sad that Pratiba's not here, but I wanted to because I know we're recording this, so I know she'll get to see this. And so I just wanted to, her artwork, right? Her artwork was just such an inspiration, and all the artwork in this book came out of the inspiration of Pratiba's artwork. And so I wanted to just mention that before I read my poem. As big as this group is, and as exciting, probably the number of people who submitted, the number of women who submitted poems to this book is double what we're seeing here live today. And how can we double that again and again and again? That's the question that's on my mind, because as Sandhya's poem points out, there are women trying to escape something all over the world. And here we are, privileged enough to be in this space together and sharing our words and being able to do that safely and bravely. And so how can we reach those women that need to find us, that are looking for us? That's the question that I leave you with. And that's the contemplation of my poem, The Garden Grows. How do we start our garden? With clean and fertile soil, castings of worms, bones of dinosaurs, tears of mothers over fallen children, tumbled stardust in the crucible of a tree. How do we plant our seeds? We tuck them into their warm beds with serenades and chants and ancient stories, spilling water, spilling energy, injected from our eyes to their leaves, curious about what will emerge next. How do we love our garden? We gently weed, we watch for stress. We teach ourselves to listen for unspoken pleas for help, so flowers and fruits can appear as the lichen and fungus wait in the distance to claim what nurture neglects. What will our garden share with us? The most delicate forget-me-nots, the most gentle daisies and lilies, the most fragrant gardenias, frangipanis, and jasmine, the most brilliant hibiscus and bougainvillea, the most sumptuous rose, the most curious orchid, the brightest sunflower, the tallest poppy, and the most magnificent lotus. Thank you all so much for being a part of this.
Beautiful. Thank you, Susan, so much. And yes, thank you all for being a part of this. This is such an amazing experience, and we do plan to do it again. We have 2 calls for submissions that are open. One's open right now through the end of January to write about those transformational moments. And it is an online submission, call for submission. So you can find us on the Medium page, the Garden of Neuro Medium publication, or just send me a chat in the garden and I'll make sure it gets up there. Or also, we have one happening in February called The Talk. And this is for the conversations between Black mothers and sons. And if I could just read a short bit about what this is about, because we are taking submissions beginning February 1st through the 28th. And The Talk is a collection of essays and poetry based on the talk which Black mothers have with their children, specifically their sons, because of society, because of unfairness of society, because of judgments based on the color of their skin, and due to continuing issues with racism. These conversations are stories all mothers should hear, especially mothers who don't have to have these kinds of talks with their children. So we are seeking submissions for that, and you can go to thegardenofneuro.com for more information, and please share. These are very important stories to share. I will round it out with something short. I have 3 in the book, and they're all based on loss and finding oneself and getting through that loss and what's on the other side. But this one is called Untitled. And a leaf turned over, revealing her true self to herself. While some of the world was shocked and some of it was awed, a perfect portion of the people could see her truth and knew she was one of them. And that is how I feel about all of you. Thank you so very much. This has been such an amazing project. I mean, I think we can all agree to that. And I look forward to doing many more. This is planned for September 2022. Volume 2 will happen. And I hope it's 3 times the thickness of this. Lisa and I talk about this all the time. What is our word count? How thick can our book be on the shelf? That's the goal. We want it to be like this. So thank you all for being here today. We are coming up at the end of our hour. So what I'd like to do is open it up. If anyone has another poem they'd like to share quickly, we'll maybe do 1 or 2 more. Catalina, I see your hand go up. Jill,
Yeah.
I see. So Catalina and Jill, how about we just do 2 more and then maybe wrap it up?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe go around with the women that were published and just answer the question, how does this book empower you, with 3 words?
I like that. That's a good way to wrap it up. Would you like to begin?
Okay, sure. This book is being inspirational. It supports me as an artist to be seen, to be recognized, to be acknowledged as a Latino woman in the US. This being extraordinary for me. Thank you.
I love that. Okay, and I'm just going to go around my circle that I see of Priya. How about you? Three words, three things that give you about this book.
I think right now overwhelmed. It's just, there's so much of beautiful poetry. I just heard a few. I don't have the book as yet, so overwhelmed. Very grateful to Sandhya, to Anu, to Lisa, Tomey, to Susan, Nanci, everyone. You know, they've really brought this whole thing together so beautifully. To Zan, I love the way she tells her poetry. It's so powerful. Yeah. And yeah, and this truly feels like a safe and brave place. I have never felt it stronger than right now. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. Sandhya.
Yeah, I think for me, it's, as I said, it's been emotional. You know, Priya is my sister. Anu was my friend from a couple of decades now. I have a couple of other, close friends from school and their sister, and they're all their poems in this book. So I haven't got the book yet. When I do receive it, it's going to be very, very special to me. So that makes me feel very warm, which is the second word. I have poetry in other anthologies, but this one is definitely very special to me. And I do want to mention the speed. Actually, that's the word comes to my mind. And I think that's, all thanks to Lisa. I think the way she did this with so many people and the workshop and, to Pratibha with the art, and it came through. It's fantastic. So yeah, really admire that actually. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with the gratitude part, which Priya said.
Thank you. Yes, it was a fantastic project. And under Lisa's direction, she kept us going. She definitely did. Richa, you are next on my list.
Okay. Three words that probably come to my mind is anticipation, excitement, and I think cohesion. It's very, as I said earlier, it's very empowering, and I have I'm the sort of person that lives under a rock, so I'm a very shy person, so I don't go out, I don't socialize on a huge scale, but coming in contact with like-minded women, it can be a different kind of high altogether. It can be an excellent tool for self-improvement. A lot of learning happens in peer groups, and I have learned a lot from I think probably every single contributor in the Garden of Neuro. I check on the posts, and most of the times, there is nothing but a lot of building up of each other's skills or talents. Even when it comes to doubts, I think we're very kind, because self-doubt is something that plagues women in varying degrees, whether they're creative or they're not creative, any aspect of their lives. I think in the Garden of Neuro, we are nurturing that strength to deal with self-doubts very, very beautifully. I love that about it. So yeah, this anthology, as I told you, it means the world to me. It has changed. It is one of the transformational moments in my life. It's put me on a road to self-actualization as a poet, actually.
Thank you for that. That is beautiful. Self-actualization as a poet. I love that. Okay, Anu, you're up.
I don't think I'm going to say anything that the others before me haven't said. In terms of 3 points, speed, like Sandhya said, I think it was amazing. Sandhya and I have been in the corporate world for a long time. We've seen how projects run, and this was like wildly successful, I think, executed absolutely brilliantly. the workshops planned so well, all timed to perfection, even this meeting for that matter, right? I was thinking, okay, I didn't get any information. How's it going to be? How are we going to read? But it's so flawless. I think it has blown me away. So speed and the smoothness of execution is one thing that absolutely is on top. Collaboration is the second thing. For so many different women from so many different time zones, countries, accents, even, to come together and accomplish something like this, phenomenal, just phenomenal. I can't get over it. And the fact that I'm able to actually sit in a room filled with so many power women who are, such clarity of thought, such amazing ability to articulate things, the power of the poetry. It's a goosebumpy experience. And I'm so happy to have been part of this. And I look forward to so many more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Jill, would you like to share 3 things about your experience in this project? Jill, we need to. There you go.
Hi, I just wanted to say one thing. It's actually a brand new transformation for all of us. My husband just sent a message. It's International Love a Poet Day, which I thought was incredibly kind. And I wanted to share that with everyone, because we're not all blessed to have a partner in life who supports our poetry. And the more women that I connect, the more I become aware of that sadness. So I realize how lucky I am, and I wanted to share that. And I know there's no time to share any other poems, but I hope that transformation will happen in many other of our beautiful open hearts. Let's keep sharing the contents of them with our partners and hope that we can convert them. Some of us are just so blessed. Others maybe need to work a little harder to earn the respect, but the truth is they're the ones that should be learning to respect us. We don't need to teach them.
Thank you, Jill. That was beautiful. Love a Poet Day. I love it. Okay, Zan.
Oh, it was off the cuff. Sorry.
I love it. Thank you.
Love a Poet Day.
You're
yes,
welcome.
yes. For me,
Yes.
this experience, the first word that I would say is awe. I was in awe, first of the workshop, first of the goal to publish, 30 days to publish. I thought there's no way. But like Susan said, yes, we can. To see and feel and be a part of the determination of a group of women and watch it unfold and happen and result in this, I'm in awe. I love it. That's what it meant for me. I love it.
Thank you so much. Anu, I love that. Big, hairy, audacious goal. Yes, but we pull it off. I love it. Okay, Lisa, your 3 thoughts on this.
Oh, okay. I was looking for Lisa Bolin. I think I was off the hook. No, it has been such a pleasure to work on this project. And it wasn't just me, it was a team effort. I mean, I've never worked with so many editors on one project before. And that was one things, just when you think, well, maybe this is about ready to go, someone else will say, well, what about this or what about that? I love that because there's so many eyes on the work. And there's a challenge for everybody here, and that is to find the one typo in the book. It's not in any poem, but there's one typo. You don't get anything for it, but maybe you can claim the prize. Anyway, but it has been a pleasure. I've not found it so easy to go through poems and put my thumbs up, because quality that came through just blew me away. And like some people's like, well, I've never really written poetry before, but here's my poem. And it's like, got to be kidding me, because I was just amazed. And it goes to, there's a poet in all of us. We just have to find that poet, you know. And I'm looking at little Ryan there going, expect some poetry from you. And so, yeah, and I will just close out with this. And no matter what happens in life, whether it's up or down or in between, there's a poem in that.
That's beautiful, Lisa. Thank you. And Susan.
Oh, my 3 words are hope, joy, and love. And I've been thinking a lot this week about, because I'm reading a book called Noise. And so I've been thinking a lot about bias and noise. And everywhere we go in our lives, in the outside world, because we think about the garden as inside the garden and then everything else is outside the garden. And inside the garden, it's quiet. There's not a lot of bias and there's not a lot of noise. And we are so accustomed to the bias and the noise that when we come into a space that is this quiet, it's almost inconceivable. And we start thinking something's wrong because it's not like what it's like on the outside. And yet, nothing's wrong. Everything is right. And in that quiet is where we can hear our voices, where we can find our words, and where we can express ourselves vulnerably and authentically. And isn't that something that is just such a gift and such a treasure? And so this is why I'm so passionate about growing the garden. Because to have this experience is truly, it feels magical because we're so unaccustomed to having this kind of a space. And look at us here, this global community of women. And we're doing this, we're creating this. So I just want to thank you. Those are my words: hope, joy, and love.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I'd also, before I close this out, I want to say thank you to Upan for joining us. I hope this was an enlightening experience. It was wonderful to have you here. I'd also like to shout out to Leanne for showing up at the end. We talked yesterday. I guess we got our timelines crossed, but thank you so much. It's at the end, but it is recorded, so you can watch it later. Where do I wanted to, be clever with words and say my words were safe, brave, and space, but I think I want to go with something that I've been living with for a while. It came from one of our books that we read. I believe it was in The Big Leap, one of the other ones actually, I think, but it's abundance, success, and love. And it comes from the saying, I expand in abundance, success, and love as I inspire those around me to do the same. And that's at the beginning of every year, everyone says, well, what's your word of the year? And I don't trust the universe with just one word. It's just too tricky like that. The universe has a very twisted sense of humor. And so that's been my motto of I expand in abundance, success, and love as I inspire those around me to do the same. So I am truly honored to have you around me growing in abundance, success, and love together, because that's what makes the world a better place for all of us when we do this together. So I am honored and blessed to be with all of you. I love that we are a global community. I cannot wait to visit every single one of you where you are. That is my goal. And, put our feet in the oceans together. So thank you all for being here today. I so look forward to doing this again. And let's have a very beautiful garden type of Saturday today. So thank you.